did you get my message?
Is that me?
Yes, I sent you a message.
Oh. On the council email.
On our.
Okay.
Get a copy of the email I sent called virtual clipboard earlier on today. If
yes,
I can split my screen and we'll go through them.
yes.
I think I've got
Thank you.
Moments,
I've
but
not
yeah.
read it.
There's four pages. It's just all the additional planning applications.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I've noted the
It
ones.
says if I handed you the clipboard at a non-virtual meeting, basically. So
Oh, yeah, it's very clever. Yes, excellent.
I was genuinely prepared that.
I will start the meeting if everyone's ready.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for
evening.
joining us for this evening's Environment and Planning meeting. And we're expecting another member to join us at some stage, but we won't wait for that. I don't think there's anything too contentious tonight, but I'm going to start with the part one agenda. Apologies.
From Councillor Strack.
Indeed.
Councillor
I'm substituting for her, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Declarations of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest from councillors on items on the agenda, or written requests for dispensation for declarable interest, or any requests for dispensation as appropriate?
No.
No, nothing. Good. Minutes. Confirm and sign the minutes of the meetings held on 20th of October. Is that the last one we got, Hugh?
Yeah.
I thought didn't we hold a that was the virtual one. Okay. Right. Yes, because what we've been doing, of course, is making comments without having a meeting on planning issues anyway. Right. So can I virtually sign the minutes as approved, please?
Agreed. I can't see.
Right. Hugh, are we going to have a catch up on signing minutes eventually?
Yes.
To legalise everything. Okay, at least we've got a record of it. So, part 4 is public participation. How many members of the public are present, please?
None.
None. Right, in that case, I'll move on to planning applications.
Chairman, I'll split my screen now and see if we can.
Yeah, by all means.
Before, but bear with me. Here we are.
Right.
If I share that, can you see that, members?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay.
Good.
So
Okay.
but,
so, well done. So the top one is Beach Drive. Any comments? No. Shenley Road. Any comments?
Nope.
Cashew Road. Any comments? Lullington Garth. Any comments? I thought that was possibly a bit too much, and I believe there's been some objections to that. So, would we like to look at it? I think the neighbours think it's a bit overbearing. So,
right. I'll just
do you think we should look at it? Sandra, what do you think? You're the experienced member.
Well, she's got quite a lot of room there.
Mm.
You know, and they've got a drive. It's not like they're. What objections was it then?
I think it was just a bit too big, you know.
But you know, Clive, all along there now, they've all done loft rooms and they've all done all this large. You know, you walk around it, so I can't see what you would object to, but.
And the height, they maintain the same height with the building, surrounding buildings. So
Sure.
I don't see any issue there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It depends whether it sort of exceeds the 45-degree angle to the neighbours and things like that. But I would guess that would be taken care of by the planning
I would think so.
planner anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on then.
You don't want to see Luddington Garth, right? Okay.
Well, unless you've got it up now.
Put it up, you.
Do can you see what I'm seeing on the screen? Which is
no, can only see the list for the moment.
Right. I'll have to. That's because I'm trying to share two things. Is it?
Yeah, I think you have to swap them out over, don't you?
That's fine. I'm just calling it up now. So it's here with 7 documents. If I go on here and if I, oh dear, your stop share. And now if I share with this one, right? So you should now see the planning.
Right. Yeah.
And there's 7 documents. Do you want to see the
amended plan to start, maybe?
The site,
amended.
yeah, where
First
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Should give us a good
I have to
idea.
download them like that one.
No, you click on the PDF, it should come up on a new window.
Well, it's because my Zoom screen's on top of that, so I'll do that. Very fiddly. Can you see that now?
There we go.
Right.
Okay. So,
That's the existing, and I think the proposed is here.
yeah, it's difficult to tell, isn't it, from that?
I mean, they've all got these loft rooms, haven't they, and all of that.
Yes, well, I'm less worried about that. But
So,
I was just wondering if it's impacting the neighbours' sort of privacy and things like that. But
yeah,
very difficult to tell, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, especially
okay.
Two-story building.
Let's move on then. We can only do so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Virtually.
Exactly.
And the next one was a single-story rear extension in Cowley Hill, which I don't think we want to comment on.
No.
And there was a single-story rear extension in Wordsworth Close. Then there was a version of loft and installation of 2 dormers in Watling House. Then there was the first floor rear extension in Cowley Hill. Then there was 7 Deacons Close, which looked a little bit dodgy to me. Conversion of garage to habitable room, 2-story side extension, part single, part 2-story rear extension, conversion of loft. Again, we're going to have the same problem, aren't we, in trying to work out exactly what's going on.
And where you're talking about though, Deacon's Close, they've got room.
Yeah, I guess. It's this thing with the neighbours, isn't it, as much as anything. I think I've seen objections to that from the neighbours.
If it's overlooking, the planners can always advise for them to reposition the window.
But they would have given that advice, wouldn't they? They would pick that up, wouldn't they, the planners at HBC?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they would. Okay, we'll move on. Single-story rear extension in Hillside. Ayot Path. Single-story front porch, single-story rear, single-story outbuilding to rear garden with associated landscaping. And any thoughts on that?
No, single-story rear extension to include 2 rear roof lights and it.
Well, I was more concerned about the outbuilding, but presumably the planners will decide whether that's appropriate or not.
I would think so.
Okay. So the next one is the Meadows at Castleford Close. Now, that's in Cowley Hill Ward. Do you know where it is, Prabhakar?
No.
That's now what's the name of the road? I'm not sure. Is it Berwick Road or is it's up that way anyway, towards the Scout Hut?
Castleford
on
Close.
The right. Yes, it's Castleford Close. There's an existing care home there. They're planning to redevelop.
That's Thirsk Road, isn't it? Round Thirsk Road or Stanford?
No, it's if you turn right at the going up Leeming Road, you turn right at the end, and then left and go up towards the Scout Hut. It's on the right, between the entrances between two blocks of flats.
Right.
Now, my concern with that was that if they want to provide 75-bed care home, they're not providing that many parking spaces or amenity space, which I thought
Care home doesn't require.
Sorry?
Care homes won't require that much parking space.
Well, don't forget they get visitors, they have staff.
I mean, hardly even.
Yeah, I suppose visitors will have to park on the road outside.
Yeah, especially parking for the staff. If it's only one car park, I don't know if they're going to bus the staff in. And now we cannot see the landmass they have to see what they are doing.
No, it wasn't a lot of space for what I think ought to be there for a 75-bed care home. And I saw an objection from a neighbour was sent round today, saying it would sort of be loss of privacy to them. I'm not sure if they're going to lose some trees and things as well. And I think I've actually put in a personal objection to it already.
Okay.
On the basis I mentioned.
And is it going to be 2-story building or 1-story? They didn't indicate.
I think it's 3, actually.
3. Wow.
Yeah, I think so. So they
That's
can
quite
squeeze them in.
high.
Yeah, Hugh, can we have a look at that, please?
I'll try.
I don't think they have a choice about using existing site access. And they've got to say the residence garden won't be very big at all.
Yeah.
Probably the size of 2 bedrooms or something.
Surprised there.
Well, I'd probably exaggerate.
75-bed care home.
Do we have a plan for this, or we don't have?
Yeah, Hugh is working on it.
Okay. But I think, in my personal opinion, we should encourage this care home construction.
Sorry?
Care homes construction in our area.
Yeah, we need them, sure.
And so,
even though it'll be extra pressure on the healthcare.
So I'm just letting Councillor Collins in at the same time. There's quite a few things going on here.
oh, good.
Right.
Oh, there's Alpha.
Okay, can you see that, members? Application summary.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 46 documents associated with this application.
Difficult one.
Tricky to.
Are you clear on the site, folks?
Right, this. I think I might be asking a little bit too much of my laptop. I've got.
Yeah, I don't think it'll.
Okay. Well, I think I've described it reasonably well.
Yeah, you have.
It's a question of what we might be able to.
Here we go. See the proposed block plan. Do you want to see that, maybe?
No, I think it's maybe just the site plan.
Proposed site.
One above it, yeah.
Right. Sorry about this, man. This is a bit fiddly.
Right, we do understand, I'm sure.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Whoa.
Right.
Blimey.
Can you see there's very little garden and not an enormous amount of parking.
What are they pulling down? What are they?
It's another care home with fewer beds, I think.
Oh, I didn't see. I never knew there was a care home there.
Yes, past its usefulness, the old one.
Oh, okay.
Obviously not great. Can you just scroll down slightly, please, Hugh?
Yes. So I've got other things coming up on the screen.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's the thing on the bottom right is, I think, some sort of healthcare provision place.
Right.
And yeah, and the entrance you can see is on the right.
Yeah.
And really not a lot of parking, and there's quite a small garden for 75 residents. I would say.
Normally, I've seen, by the way, from HSBC when I was there, several of these care homes, must be about 50, 60 in this country. Normally, the car parking doesn't go beyond 10% of the number of rooms. Because they don't
I suppose I'm less worried about that, but It's yeah. Anyway, that's what struck me.
They're not all going to go out in the garden at the same time, and people are not always. Everybody's going to visit the residents there all the time. So I don't see what you can say about it.
Okay.
Only that with some care homes normally do some entertainments for their residents, maybe Christmas period or during summer, where they encourage all of them to come out to celebrate or have fresh air.
But all they would do, wouldn't they? They would sit on a bench or sit. You know what I mean? It's not. They're not going to do a sports day, are they?
Yeah. It's a question of scale, isn't it? Anyway. Okay. Well, if no one else thinks it's worth commenting on as a consultee, then don't worry.
75 beds is good.
Oh, Chair, pardon me. Which one are we on, please?
This is the Meadows, which is 0352, which is demolition and rebuilding of a care home.
Councillor Collins, I'll display the applications on my split screen when we're not looking at plans.
Okay, thanks.
Be able to follow them on the.
This is on the second page of in your agenda.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, yeah. So yes, we'll move on then. Yes.
Yes, we're okay with it, yes.
Okay. So next one's a fascia sign. We don't need to be involved with that, as far as I know. 18 Lodge Avenue. I think there's been an objection to that as well.
Tennyson Avenue as well, isn't it, Chairman?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's alterations to create new front gable, which I don't think will be a problem. 18 Lodge seems to be quite a large extension. Whereas they've got the room, I noticed a neighbour was complaining about the, possibly being overlooked, etc.
Oh, okay.
Is that a concern, people?
Well, it is, isn't it? If they're going to.
But will it be taken care of by the planners?
By HBC, yes.
It should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
And planning policy and planning law, if it's against it,
Exactly.
they may ask them to work on it again.
I think we're not experts in that, so
No.
right. Rossington, sorry, Sandra.
We're only going to comment, aren't we? It's no.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't carry a lot of weight.
Not really.
Okay, Rossington Avenue, rear extension.
Okay.
1B Croxdale Road. That's one of the new houses on the left, just as you go in. Construction, single-story rear extension, version of loft. So that's okay, I think. 8 Tennyson extensions. Is that okay? They've got some room there, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eldon Avenue is
retrospective.
Retrospective. So do we want to make our usual comment on retrospectiveness? It's outside the spirit of the planning law.
It is.
Yes, okay. Can we do that, please, you?
Yeah.
Elstree Film and TV Studios. Not quite sure what they're trying to do here, but I think basically we support what they're doing, don't we?
Yeah.
We do, yes.
Yes, very much so. The benefit of all residents.
Yeah.
Extra money to studios.
Jobs.
Yes, the studio space is very much in demand in this country. Yeah. We have the expertise. I think we ought to build studios all around town, really. We've got the local expertise. Oh, we are, aren't we? Right, 11 Gables Avenue, rear extension. Okay, on Shenny Road, change of use from resale to cafe or restaurant. Shouldn't be a problem, should it? Move on to next 7 Watling Street. That's rear extension and front extension. It's revised. Are we happy? Okay. Then there's Winster Road, change of use to a house of multiple occupation to create 8 bedrooms. Insertion of roof light, alteration to windows, landscaping, parking, cycle and bin storage. What are your thoughts, members?
I think parking will be an issue, but they doesn't count anymore because 8 bedrooms means 8 individuals. Yeah.
Oh, into 2, because we have one. We used to have the owner of this house. had one sister staying there. Just sister and husband when we came in 2007, just 2 cars. Now they've constructed that into a HMO, 5 bedrooms. There are more than 10 vehicles there every day.
Yeah.
Because each of them goes out in their van to work and has a ordinary car to go around.
Now, trying to remember where Winster Road is. Can someone remind me?
No, I can't remember.
I'll have a look. Hang on. Look on here. Oh, it's off Grove Road.
I think you.
Oh, parallel. Yeah, it's some. It's somewhere around there, isn't it? Near
by Brook Road and Aberford Park, Chairman.
Yeah. Yes, I think they've got some room there, but it's not. It's a question really of whether we want to lose a family dwelling to accommodate 8 people.
And there's a one-way drive. You have Cowley Hill Primary School by that side.
Yeah.
One-way drive from Hartford Road. That will take you to Grove Road.
Right.
Yes, and there, of course, there isn't much parking there, as far as I know.
No parking at all.
So, what do we want to say? We don't think it's
suitable for the area.
It's not suitable for the area because of the loss of family dwelling, which are how can we put it?
Lack of
desired by the local plan, something like that.
And I think traffic too, because of the school nearby. The school, Cowley Hill is major school there, and at the moment they tend to have quite an issue with traffic.
Yes,
during rush hour and all those periods.
Yeah, and concern over traffic and parking.
Yeah.
Is that okay, you?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Next one is First Hill Road, conversion of garage, rear extension, front extension, conversion of loft, revised. So I assume the planners will take care of that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Extend to be close, single story side, single story rear infill. Okay. Hampton Close, development of existing garage to provide habitable accommodation with new dormer roof conversion above the front and rear elevations. Now, I can't remember where Hampton Close is. Does anyone know it?
D6 2DT.
Just wondering if
is it not going to Fox Hill then on the left, just on the top? On the left before Crane Way.
Crane's Way?
Hampton Close. Is it up that end? Is it?
By First Hill Road, up by Arundel Drive. It's it's here.
Oh, it's the new.
Yes,
it's the new development.
Yeah.
Right. That's all quite new. Yeah.
It's a little road, you know, where they have the filter road that you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Our babysitter, I think, used to live there and had their house knocked down. Right.
I think generally the property there, they have enough spaces. The properties around that something close.
Okay. 31 Melrose side and rear extension. Okay.
Yeah, that should be okay. They've got room.
Yeah, and Novella Way side extension. We're okay with that.
They probably could do with that.
Yeah. Right. Gateshead Road side extension and outbuilding. Again, it'll be dealt with by the planners, won't it? Appropriately. Hay Close, construction of single-story front. Kenilworth Drive, part single, part two-story rear. Now, why it's 18 to 20? Are they enlarging both? I think they're doing a joint development or something, unless they're under one ownership. Because I think we might have seen something along that for them before. Anyway, do we leave that and move on?
Yeah.
Okay, I know there was one in the new ones that I wanted to see. Arundel Drive, rear extension, loft conversion. That's okay. Part demolition of outbuilding, single-story rear extension. Okay with that? Right, Wilcox Close. Now this again is loss of a family accommodation to make 2-bed flats. Do we want to
Yeah, we
say
do.
that
We want
we
to
don't-
keep our family homes.
yes, we regret the loss of a family home.
Loss of family home, Wilcox.
As yes. And then I don't think there was anything else. First floor side and rear extensions in Deacons Hill Road. Construction of single-story rear. Two-story sides in, where was it? Can't see where it was now. Anyway, Centennial Park, mezzanine floor insulation, that should be right. Odyssey Road, side and rear extensions, new front porch, loft conversion. Okay with that?
Yep.
I think that takes us to the end of that.
Okay.
So we move on to granting of permission, which there was one, I believe, which was the
Brownlow.
Brownlow Road, conversion of loft to habitable room to include rear dormer and 2 front roof lights, construction of single-story rear extension and rear outbuilding, and it was retrospective. So I imagine we commented appropriately on it at the time, and it's been passed anyway.
You see that,
Okay.
members, that puts it there. Yeah.
I was trying to save you the bother, you
All right, so done it now.
the planning decision. Now we get on to a bit more interesting stuff, hopefully. So we're talking about still projects, proposals for consideration. Now, these have been discussed, I suppose you could say, by our group or amongst some of our group. We've got still money at the moment. We've got, just to fill you in with a bit of detail if you don't know, at the moment, the current balance is about 287,000 in still money, of which 59,000 approximately is committed for the entertainment project in Meadow Park, sometimes called a bandstand. The Stapleton Gardens container and completion of fencing is going to cost around 22,000. So 60, 80. So that's going to leave us just over 200,000 at the moment in the kitty, as it were. And more should be coming in next month. We don't know how much. I suspect it'll be similar to the amounts we've received of a few thousand, but that's only a guess. Now, some of it needs to be spent within 5 years of receiving it, but I don't think we're under any enormous pressure for that at the moment. So if we move on to the things we need to consider here, Bournemouth Football Club want to make easier access for coaches for their visiting spectators and teams, etc.
Clive.
Yes,
because when people, because they can't get past, there's a lot of hooting. You know, when they're in the cars, there's a lot of makes them angry. Apparently, you know, because people are. So, yeah,
people are impatient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the cost. Now, have they actually? Is this the cost of the whole project, 175, or is that what they've asked for?
But they've asked for it's up 600 and something thousand.
Right. So, what we're suggesting is, for all of these, in fact, we're suggesting that we're happy to fund 15% of what the total still contribution is, and expect Hertsmere to contribute the other 85%, because they're the proportions that we receive currently as the local parish, as it were.
Yeah.
So we're suggesting approximately 22,500 for that.
Just to be clear, Chairman, when you say we're suggesting, who are you referring to?
Oh, well, as I say, it's something that we've discussed amongst members of our group. And so that's where the suggestions come forward from. as being something. I know we liked generally to support the football club where we can. We've supported them in the past, and they're quite helpful to us as well. So I think it's well worthwhile. And we've got the money. We do need to spend some of it. Sandra, you want to say something?
I'm just going to say, Clive, thank you, that we haven't got any paperwork yet, but we will have it. This was just what was spoken about, applied for, but we need to see paperwork for everything, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So members, you need to decide maybe what you're going to do with this information this evening. I imagine that you'd want to see more details of the proposals. I don't know whether Hertsmere Borough Council's been approached about any of this. But before you make a recommendation to full council, do you want for these items to be reconsidered at a further environment and planning meeting with additional paperwork?
Yes.
That makes sense. Yes.
I think I agree with you. So we see the expenditure and where the money is going to. Yeah.
Well,
if that's your advice, Hugh, that's very acceptable. Thank you.
I think an audit trail on the decision would really need to see.
So we're happy to move forward subject to those conditions, basically. Okay.
And shall we are subject to HBC committing to it, because they are paying the lion's share. So if they commit to it, we know that it's a project that we go ahead.
Indeed.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with that, because they have committed to it, HBC, but it's not our concern if they don't. Our concern is just the money that we said that we can pay out of SIL.
Yeah, just to help them out, to help the
£300,000. It's up to them. We can't tell HBC to stay to what we think they should pay.
No, what I mean is not talking to the borough council or anything. It's just to help the Rowanwood Football Club out. If we issue them the money now and the other one is not forthcoming from the other side,
we won't do
so
that.
the money will just be there. So that's what I'm saying. If it's forthcoming from the other side, which is the lion's share, of course, we've agreed already. If we agree to give it to them, we give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously subject to them actually going ahead with the project.
Mm-hmm.
And also getting
eventually as well.
It's all been passed.
Now, as members, if it's helpful, as with our grants procedures, the intention with SIL is that if the project is unable to go ahead because that organisation is unable to reach the other funds required to complete it, then the town council's money is withdrawn, and if they want to reapply on a smaller level, then that's.
Sure.
But we have to have an expectation that the project will be completed.
Sure. Prabhakar, you wanted to add something?
We get the information on this project by next meeting at least, or when do we get it? Because otherwise we're just sanctioning money very blindly, without knowing what it's going to be used on.
Well, presumably we tell the football club that we're minded to approve it in principle, subject to receiving full details.
No, I don't think so, Chairman, because the
minded to recommend
to approve it is taken by full council.
Yeah, recommend approval, subject.
The Environment and Planning Committee makes recommendations to the council.
Thank you for the correction.
So I think what you've agreed is that the information before you this evening is an initial heads up of what's been proposed. But you require further information to reconsider it again at this committee before you can make a recommendation.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Now the same conditions obviously will apply to the next two, which I'm going to lump together because they are relatively similar. And the idea came really from seeing the improved play area in Byron Avenue, if any of you know it, which is over near where I live. Off sort of Fez Hill Way near Woodcock Hill, where there's a nice new playground that they've put in using S106 money, I believe. And the idea was that we could use the SIL money to build an adventure playground in Maxwell Park, which doesn't have one at all at the moment, and to update the one in Ripon Park. Now, these are both in South Boreham Wood, as it were, south of Shenley Road and Elstree Way. So I don't know if everyone's familiar with where they are and what they are. But,
Yes, I'm aware of the area.
Yeah. So the suggestion is that they would each be £100,000 of SIL money, of which we would contribute 15,000 each. What do members think?
I think it's a worthwhile project. The one in Byron Avenue is so popular. If you go there, you can see that the residents are enjoying it. And that will help with Ripon Way. I don't think they really have any standard play area there. The one they have
there
is
is
outdated.
There is one in Ripon Way.
There is one.
Yeah, but it's outdated too.
It's well past its best.
Yeah, and the Maswell Park, they have development around there, and they don't have enough play area for the children, so that will serve the purpose. I think it's a good project to support.
Yeah.
Right. Any other comments?
I think what you have suggested, Chair, that 15,000 to each area is good enough, and then there's a balance. There's this equilibrium.
Well, as you know, we receive 15% of the SIL monies, and HBC keeps 85%. Therefore, we suggested that we contribute that percentage to the total cost of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're happy to move forward on the same basis, to subject to detailed paperwork and.
Yeah. Can I ask a question, Chairman? Obviously, these proposals, I'll call them, came initially from the Conservative group at the Town Council. Where is the additional information coming from?
From what will
it would have to be Hertsmere, wouldn't it? Is that right, Sandra?
No, well, the Boreham Wood one is going to come. All that.
From the football club.
From the football club. Yeah.
I just need to know who to ask. So
sorry.
Club, and then the adventure playground.
Well, we will propose it, as it were, to HBC.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
we have
do it all, basically.
Said we have had some sort of conversation.
I'm just wondering, who do I need to ask for the additional information for the next meeting for the adventure playground?
Point. Would that be Aaron Niblett?
No. First of all, I think we need to. Well, it wasn't him. It was Morris. We spoke to about the. We said that Maxwell Park has got nothing.
Yeah.
Anybody, but all those flats, all those kids around, and it should have something.
May I suggest that Mr. Jones, maybe on the next meeting, we request for details and take it from there. We mustn't recommend 3 of them at the same time to the full council. Depending on when they get the paperwork, then we can recommend to the full council. So if we say next EMP meeting, for us to, explanation on that.
But Hugh was asking who we should ask, who we should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it was Morris that I spoke to.
Then officers will be involved and all that to really look at what exactly we fit that area. So maybe next meeting we'll let you look at it again.
Same as Ripon Park's got nothing, and
Well, who's going to find out how to progress it with HBC? Do you want me to do that as chair of the committee?
Yeah, if you.
May I suggest you do it with Councillor Strack if you want to do that?
Of course. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I can speak to this football club because that's who he approached. He approached me, and
yes.
then approached,
yes, will you please do that?
Any additional information that I receive, whatever source it comes from, that's appropriate to include the next agenda, I shall do so. But in the meantime, I'll leave it to you members to advise me how you want to proceed with this preliminary investigation of.
It is
preliminary, yes.
And we'll keep you appraised of.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Let's move on then. Now, so item 8 is neighbourhood plan to consider update report from committee chairman concerning scoping exercise for a neighbourhood plan for Aylesbury and Boreham Wood. Now, I'm not aware of any movement on that. The original reason that we delayed it because we were told that the local plan needed to be in place first so we could then see what we wanted to do about a neighbourhood plan. Does anyone have any other thoughts?
Well, I have a problem with this neighbourhood plan because we keep talking about it and we just don't do it. And
I agree.
we haven't found a way of doing it. Let me say that we haven't found a way of doing it. So I don't know how we can progress it personally. It does need to progress.
All right. Well, I know we sort of got close, didn't we, at one time?
We actually did, yes.
And then it sort of fell by the wayside with the other things coming on. And now we've had the pandemic, which hasn't helped.
No, but now we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We can start looking for that to carry on with.
We don't have a date for the neighbourhood plan, presumably, yet.
No, but we can find that out from Harvey, and can't we?
Well, they're supposed to be publishing a draft this spring, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last we heard. What do we want to start work on it once we've seen the draft? So
I
we've
don't
got
know.
a fair idea what we're working to.
I think we should.
Because Shenley, they're having a meeting about their own neighborhood plan this evening.
Indeed.
I think Aldeham has done their own too, so I don't know how the local plan is slowing our own down.
They got somebody to do it. They have a specific person to do it.
I think, Chair, we could send a circular around in the various areas, and then people will make their suggestions, and then we'll be able to move forward from there.
Well, that comes a lot later, I think.
Yeah.
We've got to get some sort of basis for it all first.
Administer it for us.
Yeah, someone who knows how to do it.
Yes, of course.
Now, Hugh, did we actually identify someone previously, but then we didn't go ahead with it?
That's correct. That we're talking several years ago. I mean, I think probably one of the first things to do, Mr. Chairman, is to invite members to have another training session with HAPTC about what's involved with the neighbourhood plan. I attended several of them. I know some members sitting did as well. Things may have moved on from then. To see what's worked well at other authorities, not just the neighbouring authorities, but authorities of the similar sort of size as Aylesbury and Boreham Wood. I know Bishop Stortford are real experts at planning neighbourhood plans. In fact, the clerk there organises training on neighbourhood planning.
Really?
But I think one of the hurdles, as with some of these other projects, the town council wants to do and then decides not to do, and then it kind of gets left, is appointing the relevant consultant to come and help us do that. And it's how we manage that process initially. Yes, it is certainly going to require somebody to come and supervise.
It is, okay.
And the last time we tried to do that, we went out to adverts. We advertised, including in the national press.
Okay.
And we did it that way. I don't know whether some of the consultants who have previously helped other authorities who have in the meantime completed their neighbourhood plans might now be available to come and help Aylesbury and Boreham Wood.
Okay. Would you be able to find out about that? And
I'll try my best.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I'm not an expert in finding consultants.
Well, I've got a couple of people. I can ask Debbie Hoogie, and I can ask my sister who was involved in the Mill Hill
Debbie
one.
Hoogie do the Radlett's neighbourhood plan, I think, didn't she?
I don't think she did it, did she? I don't think so. It's not her job, but she can advise. But she might know people. This is the thing. So I can ask.
Well, again, if members want to instruct me as with suggestions, I can take those forward, provided that's lawful for me to do so. But I don't know what we're working to here, really.
Well, we need somebody to take it forward and to actually try and get somebody to take the position up of organising, because other authorities have done it, Hugh, haven't they? Like
yes.
So it's not an impossibility for our town.
I don't think it is. I can see, Mr. Chairman, although he's not a committee member, that Councillor Jeremy Newmark is in attendance, has his hand raised to speak.
Oh, sorry. Yes, indeed. I missed that, Jeremy. Sorry.
Thanks, Chair. Just sort of having followed the neighbourhood plan process in a couple of other areas, I think those that have been particularly successful have prepared a consultant's brief and gone out to competitive tender. I think it's far better to have people coming to you wanting to compete to do the job rather than sort of being the people that are looking around for a hired hand, as it were. I'm certainly happy to try and get hold of some of the briefs that other local authorities have put together that have gone through the process successfully. If that would help, because I do know a couple. And also just in terms of doing an initial training session for councillors and officers on neighbourhood plan, I was going to suggest, and sort of far be it from me to suggest a Conservative politician, but obviously Hannah David, as in Faraday's daughter, runs a very well-respected independent planning think tank and consultancy. And I'm just wondering if, given that she knows the area, it might be worth approaching her to see if she might be prepared to run a training session, given her background in the area and her expertise in this field.
Okay, I'm happy to do that if
no, I'm not.
Required.
I'm not. No, because we had a way forward before with you, and we had somebody to do it. And actually now maybe it's a better time that some people will come forward that have got the expertise as well to do it.
So thank you, Jeremy, for that. Hugh, did you want to say something?
Only just to say that in terms of preparing the consultant's brief, obviously things may have changed. They almost certainly have changed in the intervening years. But we did at the time prepare a fair amount of paperwork about what it is you wanted to do in terms of the neighbourhood plan, what it wanted to achieve. And it included principles such as, these are only examples, restricting the height of buildings, there's no tower blocks, and retaining the local character, the film heritage of the area, and so on. So we do have a shopping list of principles, which I'm happy to share with members now.
Very good.
The next committee, so you can modify or reapprove those as necessary in order to prepare a brief. I wasn't aware that other authorities went out to tender with the consultants, but if that's, I mean, it depends. I think the value, doesn't it, of the contract we enter into, depending on, we're required to go into a tender. It's over £60,000, I believe, isn't it, in terms of our financial regulations? But that's a decision for you members to take, and we'll do whatever we decide on that.
Well, I'd like to take up Councillor Newmark's suggestion of trying to obtain one or two other sample briefs to give us an idea what we can and can't include.
Certainly do that. That's not a difficult task to do, unlike the other one. If you want some sample briefs, including our original sample brief from Elstree and Boreham.
Yes, please. That would be really useful. Let's get this thing moving again and see where we can get to. Okay. Anything else on neighbourhood plan? No. Okay. Bandstand project update report. Well, I don't have too much of an update. I know it seems to be going ahead, but I thought maybe Hugh might have a bit more up-to-date information on that.
Thank you, Chairman. I didn't attend the last bandstand officer meeting. That was on one of the Mondays. But I get the planning permission, as you know, has been approved. The contractors have been contacted, and I think the initial grounds works, the electrical works, all been approved to go ahead as well. So things are looking good for the bandstand.
Great.
Okay. Yes, I mean, the only other thing I'm aware of is that one of the original concepts was to have a plaque commemorating past Rotarians, and you know, that is being looked at basically. Okay. Anything else on bandstand?
Has his hand up. I don't know whether he hasn't. Hasn't.
Have you still got your hand up, Jeremy?
It's a legacy hand, I'm afraid. It's gone now.
Oh dear. Thank you. Right. Well, does anyone have anything else they would like to say tonight?
No, thank you very much.
No, not from me.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much for coming and for taking part and your contributions. And I look forward to seeing you all again at the next meeting, if not before.